Have you ever wondered what it would be like to live in a world where animals and people had magical abilities? You had to be super careful about your pets, and the animals at the zoo? My name is Onyx Hoofbeats, and I will be telling you the story of the elementals. Animals with the ability to control the Earth's elements: fire, water, air, and earth. When a junior volunteer named Luna Acefield joins up with the elemental sanctuary down her street in hopes of becoming an elemental keeper, things could not get more exciting. With me creating the story visual for you using Planet Zoo, you can relax and listen to the story. Cooing with Luna over baby baboons, riding on the backs of ostriches, and foraging a path to a destiny with power. I hope you will enjoy the story as much as I will writing it. I will be creating the wind arch in this episode, and you'll find out where Liam calls home. Enjoy! Luna pinned an unruly lock of black hair behind her ear, feeling nervous. I seriously do not understand why I'm making a big deal of this. After their conversation last night, Liam had come up with an answer to her questions. We have a bookshelf at my house that has all the books about elements that you can imagine. History books, control books, finance books, and books about all the things a keeper could want. Luna turned herself slowly before the tiny mirror on her side of the room, and sighed. What happened to the other time element keepers? Were they removed from the picture, because of their disturbance with the elementals? Or are they away hiding somewhere secret waiting for the day they can come back and wreak havoc? She clipped a necklace around her neck, and positioned the little heart-shaped locket in the center of her chest. Wondering if the other time element keepers had had tokens of trust like all the other keepers, she ran a lint roller over her clothes one last time, and then walked outside. The time was late afternoon, and the crowds of visitors had not stopped for even a second. For now that the sanctuary had food and drink, there was never any need to go somewhere else even during lunch break. Luna blew a stray lock of hair from her eyes, feeling kind of guilty that she hadn't told her parents where she was going. It's just Liam. What harm could there be in going with him? He's my friend. Besides, I'm not a baby anymore. She felt even more sure of herself when she spotted Liam striding towards her across the peafowl habitat, and slipping out through the staff entrance. Ready to go? He asked when he arrived. Yep. Luna tried not to show how nervous she was, as they walked out the front gate against the influx of people, and into the tiny dirt parking lot Luna had parked in when she first got to her new job. There were quite a few nice cars in the invisible spaces, but Liam made a beeline for a rusty pickup truck in the far corner, parked halfway on the grass. It's very old, Liam explained to Luna's shocked expression. We haven't had time to get a new one. He laughed. Luna chuckled too, but wondered why Liam's laugh sounded forced. Almost like he's not telling me the whole truth. Liam unlocked the car, and climbed into the driver's seat. Luna delicately took hold of the passenger door, and it cracked open with a shower of rust and dead leaves. How well do you drive? She asked, brushing some candy wrappers off the seat, and stuffing them in her pockets. Brilliantly, of course. Don't worry. Liam started the car almost before she'd even climbed in, and gunned the engine making the gravel fly. You scared me, Luna exclaimed indignantly, as she buckled her seatbelt. My door wasn't even closed. I'm surprised you managed to stay on the seat. When I do that with my friends they usually fall out and I have to wait for them. Liam drove more slowly out of the parking lot and out onto the road. It was Saturday, so the duo were off to do what they pleased. The volunteers were only allowed to leave on the weekends, almost like a real job, except they didn't get paid. Luna faced the window, letting the wind run through her hair. You don't get cold, do you? She had just noticed that the side windows were missing, and a jagged strip of plastic and glass showed along the bottom. Yeah, that got shot out a year ago. Liam grinned, as Luna gasped. What have you been doing? Robbing banks? She felt deliciously frightened, for her parents had kept her on a tight rein, not really allowing her to do anything on her own. I wish, Liam said sarcastically. But no, I just got in street fights a lot when I was, younger. Luna eyed him, noticing how he had stammered over the sentence. Your home sounds thrilling. When will we get there? Liam swung the steering wheel to go up the on-ramp onto the highway. About a half hour. Luna chewed her lip. That was longer than she would have liked, but if she wanted to find out what her tattooed element meant, she didn't have a choice. Liam turned on the radio, and the strains of George Strait that came through the speakers sounded muffled, like he was singing through dust. Which he probably was. Nice to see someone who enjoys the good old music, she observed quietly. Much better than the stuff that comes out of the radios today, that's for sure. Liam nodded. Luna had always enjoyed country music, and now she could not help but sing along. Very quietly, mind you, but Liam still heard her. He said nothing, but listened quietly with a faint smile, as Luna's voice slowly rose in volume. At last Luna's pitch was normal, and as the first notes of Forever and Ever Amen came in, he started to sing too. Luna was surprised, and felt her cheeks warm quickly, but she proudly managed to keep her cool, and continued singing. For I'm gonna love you, forever and ever, forever and ever, forever and ever, amen. Luna laughed, as Liam executed the deep rolling final note perfectly, and then met his eyes. He was also laughing, and the warm look in his hazel gaze made her look away. What a special guy, she thought privately before she could stop herself. Liam cleared his throat and also looked ahead just in time to avoid running off the road into a ditch. Full of litter. Shabby houses, with cracked and chipping paint. Doors on their last hinges, and gardens full of weeds. Luna shrank back in her seat, as a grubby-faced child came out of one of the ramshackle houses, and dumped a load of trash into an overstuffed bin. Liam glanced quickly left and right, before turning down a narrow alleyway. Luna peered out, wincing at the faint squeaking of rats, and the feeling of claustrophobia set in, as the houses on either side were barely a foot from their side mirrors. Very quaint, don't you think? Liam's low tone startled her from where she was watching an old lady watering her dying flowers with a watering can made of rusty tuna cans. Why yes, Luna stammered, and then she flew forward onto the dashboard as Liam slammed on the brakes just in time to dodge a falling toaster hurled from a window above their heads. It crashed to the ground inches in front of their bumper. So close, Mrs. Smitch. Liam shouted sweetly out the window. Maybe next time. A rough sigh came from overhead. Young whippersnapper knows an old lady's tricks after all these years, Have to think of something new? The muttered voice disappeared. Who was that? Luna asked in a hushed voice. Oh, her? Liam chuckled. She's practically my step-in grandma. She tries to drop a piece of junk on my car every time I drive by. It's one of her quirks. Luna gathered silently that was why the truck was so banged up. Learned my lesson after a sofa fell in my truck bed. Liam jerked his thumb behind him. Now I always rocket past her window, or slam on my brakes so she misses. You could have warned me, Luna murmured, identifying a stray cat licking its paw atop an old stove. Sorry about that. Liam bumped down the alley, dodging stray animals and rusty fenders that were sticking out a wee bit too far. Luna was pressed to the back of the seat, really starting to wish she had just told Liam to get the book for her and bring it back to the sanctuary on Monday. No, you wanted an adventure and to meet Liam's family, so here you are. She took in a deep breath, as Liam pulled slowly up a cracked driveway to the house. Luna stepped out, and looked up at the building. Rickety drain pipes, rotten old door, nails coming out of the walls at odd angles. Yeah, this is totally safe. You know what? She said to Liam, her voice coming out a little sharper than she meant it to. I'm gonna stay right here while you go in and get the book. He looked at her, as Luna struggled to connect the handsome young man she had met in the doorway to her stony room her first day at the sanctuary, to this ragamuffin from a really bad part of town. You can't. Liam's tone was serious, but his eyes were sparking with fun. It's dangerous out here, especially for young women like yourself. You'd get harassed and kidnapped in a heartbeat. Luna yelped, her excitement turning quickly into anger. Why'd you take me out here? So you could scare me, or maybe hold me for ransom. I don't know you that well, and I didn't even text my parents to let them know where I am. That, I have to admit, was dumb, but seriously, Luna. Do you really think I would drag you all the way out here just to lock you in my room? Who do you think I am? A crook? Liam shook his head, although his face was grayish. Now come inside.